Welcome, Gemini. I have some cards out for you already, and I will be picking them up and pulling cards for you newly as well. But this is the message that I was getting before your video. So a lot of cards came out. So I'm going to read to you what I got from this message. I just rolled the die here as well, and then we're going to pick it all up and start over. We have the SIRIAN Starseed deck for your main read. We have the Fortune's Oracle to set the tone, and Rider-Waite Mini for the clarifiers, and the Messages of Love Oracle cards at the end. So we'll pull these off of here. I was just doing a meditation for you too, and a few things came up in that meditation. The first thing I saw was a woman wearing a very delicate necklace. It was a delicate yellow gold chain with what looked like a teardrop type of sapphire or even a black stone. It was very dark. It was hard to tell what kind of stone it was, and it was very dainty. So I don't know if that's maybe a specific message for somebody. Then I was getting, my inner child she was sitting in front of a huge wall with a big smile on her face. And she's like pointing up over the wall, like Gemini's back there over the wall. So there's something about boundaries here. And then I was getting, all in all, it's just another brick in the wall from the Wall from Pink Floyd. So you might want to listen to or look at the lyrics for that song. So let's get into where that's going. Let's see where the die landed here. We have Jupiter. And Sagittarius was coming up in this energy as well. We have the number 2, which is February now. It's also the High Priestess, the higher self, the divine feminine energies here. So there could be Pisces, this could be Aquarius energy too. And with the High Priestess, Virgo comes up as well. And then over here we have Pisces, so definitely Pisces again. And Jupiter, Sagittarius, and Benevolence. The 2 in the middle as where we are now. And there's something about the Jupiter looking like the number 4 that's coming up over there too, which is Aries. So fire signs in general, because we're seeing Leo here in the front too. So this is all about fire over here, and Jupiter. And then the 2 of the High Priestess, the higher self, the present moment in Aquarius. And then Pisces is also 1 foot in this world, 1 foot in the next, or that leap between dimensions. And Neptune. And of course the 2 is also the polarity and the mediation of 2 in the middle. So I'm getting also Pisces to Aries, right? That's the shift in the new year, the springtime, and then the mediation between them. All right, so I'm going to read to you what I got from this message on the table, and then we're going to pick the cards up. Okay, Gemini, the underlying energy, the star card here, and beneath that, I went back to the 6 of Cups and the underlying energies, which can represent soulmates, siblings, your children, your best friend. But this energy of the Queen of Swords and the King of Wands, cold and hot, the widow and the shaman, Gemini and Leo, and the starseed planted. 1 big one planted at first, and then 10 orbs to end the pain. Flowering the crown and white coat syndrome, blind in the woods or weeds, taking in what the Queen of Pentacles gave, hoping she wasn't just pissing away her time, money, and energy. The key being the friendly fin, and the dolphins swim under the night sky with the North Star guidance of Rock Star, walking like an Egyptian, sorting through new ideas, and not seeing the creakiness of the spinal flow, working out blocks 1 kink at a time, the pit of the stomach connecting to the bridle, the jaw and the shoulders pulled back, grounding chest lifted and expanding outward to the ocean and night sky. Salt water and stardust, unraveling the Rubik's Cube, not knowing the next step until after the present move, right? You can't pre-plan all the steps. You don't know the next step until this one is done. Feeling your way through. Do look back while stretching your left arm forward, lying in bed, counterintuitive stretch. the alchemist and the rock star healer, finding peace in the flow between them. As the first card out is Lionsgate, a serious component, and there is some aspecting to Sirius right now actually, a serious component bursting through the ring of fire by twos, Sagittarius to Aquarius, or in other words, 2 by 2 signs, Sagittarius to Aquarius, and then Aries gate 4-4, which marks the energy of spring, the birth into the earthy realms. And then we have all earth, 9 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and then the 3 of Pentacles at the top row. Come what may, which is a very earthy energy, the sovereign and the loyal humble servant with curious invite to the King of Pentacles at the 3 of Pentacles workplace or place of co-creation. With lots of earth and crystal light, the 2 of Swords and the 2 of Pentacles then come up together, 2 by 2s again. Then at the beach, clearing your aura, floating on the jetties with peace of mind and keeping to yourself. Then on land with auric whale, surrendering to all that is. Waning into the new moon on the 9th as the sun as Pegasus continues his rounds, which also marks the energy of the dragon. The 9th is the new moon, the 10th goes into the dragon year. From the Sagittarius Galactic Center through Aries gate, come what may, with June is for lovers into a leap of Cancer to Leo faith, where the moon meets the sun, the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, the truth always there just below the surface. A buoy or buoy marking the spot of groundbreaking plant, the truth comes out. Floating buoy or buoy and diamond in the rough exposed, boy with stained reputation meets girl needing a bit of rock polishing, the sword and the stone, the truth made manifest as the indigo arrives with polished diamond out of nowhere, a sudden event or storm as lightning strikes twice in a puff of rainbow lovers' dragon's breath, knocked off the wall, and then searchlights out to sea as the real live boy and gem of a girl have a moment on land and then out to sea as lightning dances across the sky as the seas calm in 5D connection between the beach and salt water and snow-peaked mountaintop evergreen. The Page of Swords, which often represents Gemini, and their little light are now holding that flash of light in their one little pinky. Gemini's indigo tower, lover's light, then rest within their own spark. Instead of the kite and the key, it's the Gemini and the diamond or crystal in hand, as 2012 births peaked in China, aspiring to have dragon babies, as they probably will again in this year of 2024. So then it goes into the 12 signs of the Chinese New Year's. So today is the 6th, and June is Gemini energy, May into June, but we're going into the 9th of the new Aquarius moon. So we have Gemini that we're doing for you, and then Aquarius new moon, and then of course Libra is in the south node right now. There's this energy of air. I think there's a grand trine coming up at the new moon too. And then going into the 10th of the dragon year with sudden new for Gemini, and Gemini finding their little light. I'm just looking at my my burning stick there that fell over. It should be okay. All right, so now we're going to pick up the cards and pull your new read to see what else is coming up for you. And look at all this Gemini, and this Gemini energy here. It's like a big shift when you go into the dragon year. So and also this earth that ran across the top could have been representing your Capricorn season as well, which was a lot of grounding there in a positive way. But it was also representing going into Taurus, come what may. So let's see what my Fortune's Oracle has for you. Gemini, so today is February 6th, 2024. So So going through February into March. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. And I'm getting the laugh behind there too. It's 1:52 on the clock, which is the Magician and the Queen of Swords. Both Gemini energies there. All right, Gemini for February going into March 2024, Gemini. For the best and highest good of all those concerned. And that came right up with love. So you have the 17, which is the star, which was the underlying energy here. And that's also Aquarius. And there's lots of love for you here in this month of Valentine's Day. And then this card is also coming up, the number 2, again, February. And the higher self, the divine feminine energies, the angelic energies here. The love card says love surrounds all your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. And your angels are guiding and protecting you on your spiritual journey. So spread your wings. So there's a lot of Aquarius energy here, but also Pisces as we go from Aquarius into Pisces this month. And then you have this Phoenix rising. So the dragon's coming up again as well with the Knight of Wands, which is Sagittarius. So it's like it was coming from Sagittarius A in Sagittarius, is bursting, it's continuing through the year. I'm not sure what that's going to end up meaning, but it's coming through very powerfully. The underlying energy is 27, which is the Ace of Wands, and the linked rings here and proposal. A romantic or business opportunity is indicated here, so perhaps linked in as well. Okay. So again, Aquarius, Pisces, and Sagittarius coming up here, and look at the masculine and feminine versions of the wings spread here, the angelic energies and the dragon energies, right? So those deep earthly energies and the angelic realms coming up for you. And of course, you're Gemini, so twin energy comes up for you as well, naturally. Naturally. That song now is coming up too. Until now, I can't remember the words. I remember I cried when my father died, never wishing to hide the tears. So you might want to listen to that song too. So alone again naturally is coming up. Spirit's connecting with me, and we have the higher self and the star coming up together. It's really powerful energy, right? The higher self and dreams coming true, the Egyptian energy of the rock star and fairy dust, standing in the plasma ether, reading from scroll work in the northern lights. As the northern lights with the energy this year are supposed to be seen in many places they normally can't be seen. I'm getting like you're bringing the dragon lines and the angelic lines together, like the grids are aligning with each other from the earth and above. And again, a proposal to link in. The two circles linked. All right, Gemini, for the best and highest good of all those concerned. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. And what's burnt, this is frankincense and myrrh. Gemini, 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 for the best and highest good of all those concerned. Gemini, February going into March. March of the rights, the last rights. Gemini, 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 for the best and highest good of all those concerned. Still wants to come there, okay. All right, Gemini, first card out for you is the Five of Wands, the waves of flames. And this is a very hot, humid energy. Oh, very interesting. Because there's a lot of physical healing going on in general, but it was specifically coming up for Gemini yesterday as well. And that energy of doing hot and cold healing, but I wasn't getting to use heat. The internal heat has to do with your sexual energy. So using your sexual energy to heat your body up, and then using ice. So very interesting the way that was coming up. But this is also like lighting the flames in concert here. Getting very hot and humid here. I don't know if there's fires going on right now, but this is representing Gemini and the dragon coming up here. The challenge for you is the Six of Cups, a very different energy than that, which is that soulmate, sweet, innocent love energy, right? Very affectionate here, right? Very huggy, kissy. Not necessarily a Gemini trait. The foundation here is the higher self. And again, reading from the ethers and the northern lights, and in the shadow of the moon as we're going into the new moon here. Reading last rites, and I'm not getting death with that. That's not the meaning that's coming up here. I mean, it could be for somebody, but that's not, there's no message of death here or here. If anything, it's new passionate beginnings. So I'm also now reading the Riot Act. Very interesting, because remember I told you I saw a wall behind my little girl, and there's these huge walls right here. But there's also an opening at the new moon. In the recent past, you have for Gemini is the Four of Crystals, or Four of Pentacles, which for me in this deck is the Divine Masculine in the Bat Cave, the crystal Bat Cave here. You know, grounding very well with all crystals in the cave here. The Four of Pentacles is also about holding on to things or saving, being very practical. So collecting, you know, keeping his energies to himself while being in the Bat Cave, you know, his safe space. Very grounded. So again, that was good for the masculine Geminis especially, to ground. So even if you're very athletic and you play a lot of sports, you probably always have your shoes on if you're outside. So you need more full grounding, either taking your shoes off, using salt baths, using more crystals like in your home, plants and crystals inside your house. What's coming up as crowning for you is the Hanging Man. So, and again, here's that right knee block that always comes up with this card. And so I was just talking to my brother about inverting as well. So perhaps some of you need to invert, or perhaps arch your back, you know, lay backward on a medicine ball, or perhaps hang over the end of the bed, because we're all sitting forward all the time. So most people do need to do some arching stretches. But there's also the right knee block, which is the masculine side, and the instability of the right knee coming up, right? There's some fear or anger, frustration kind of energy of the masculine not being expressed here, which is blocking you if you're having any leg issues. Specifically, the right leg is coming up. You may be called to lie in bed in certain ways too. Just go with your instincts. Like if you feel like stretching, even though it's weird, don't think about it, just stretch. Let your body go stretch in the ways it wants to stretch. And I was also getting twisting your waist. So you know how you lie on your side and usually put one leg up, you know, and over. So then twist your waist and stretch your arms both ways so that you really feel that pull within your waist. So I need to just follow your own instincts as far as stretching, because stretching is coming up is really important for you. Perhaps, again, inverting yourself. This is like, you know, stretching your body the other way after all of the gravity pulling down on you, on your body every day, releasing any pent-up nerves or vessels that may be infringing upon others, to help realign things. But I do have an inversion table. I don't use it very much because I usually need a few days to recover from just using it just for a few minutes. So be careful about that too. If you do invert, make sure to do it before you go to sleep. Don't do it right before doing any heavy exercises, that kind of stuff. But yeah, follow your own instincts. What is your body telling you? And what's coming up for you is the Queen of Swords, which definitely could be your energy. And that was coming up. And she often is represented as the widow. And she's broken into a million pieces here that have been put back together very carefully. And all the pieces are there. But it also represents that energy of still being fragile, right? These pieces could still fall apart very easily. But she's got a handle on the truth, and she is grounding herself. She's got a reed by her right wrist here. So again, there's that energy of grounding the right side, the masculine. You see yourself as the King of Wands. And these are the two cards that came up in the underlying energy of that first read together. So these two are definitely energies together. Whether you're a girl or a guy, it doesn't matter, because you could be either one. Like this could be the guy and this could be the girl. But there's definitely fire. This is typically Leo energy. And then we have Gemini coming up here for you. So you're dealing with Leo energy or a fire energy here. And whoever's the fire energy is coming up as the more shamanistic here. And the more air signs are typically intellectual or communicators. So it's a very different energy here, and perhaps blending the two together. Becoming the salt of the earth was coming up in my messages this morning as well. So by blending these two polarities, you come up with the salt of the earth, right? It's a better result using both energies together, kind of like the hot and cold energy that I was telling you, but not heat as in typical heat, but the energy that you create heat within your body. So what's around you or how others might see you is the Knight of Swords. So we could have two air signs here as well, since we have the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords. That can also represent the action taken for the Queen of Swords. But in this card, it often represents the energy of sending 5D messages here. And he looks like he's on the top of a hill. And then Glastonbury Tor is coming up here, sitting under a tree, grounding and integrating what you've learned. The Messenger of Truth, the Knight in Shining Armor can come up with that card as well. And with the other cards that I had just had out, we ended with the Page of Swords at the top of a mountain with their little light. And this represents the same exact thing in a whole different way. So again, looking at things from multiple perspectives, right? Sometimes the light looks like a spark at the top of a mountain with evergreen trees, or perhaps they're not evergreens. Maybe it's just assuming that because there's snow on the ground, but when the snow melts, perhaps it reveals something different than an evergreen tree. And again, the spark may not look so much like a spark as it does an orb. And there the sun's at his back, at his left shoulder, which is a feminine energy. So this shaman energy might be coming up as the feminine person who's in your energy, whether this is you or somebody else. So we also have Pisces over here with the higher self, but like I said, this is February. This can represent Aquarius, and also the High Priestess will come up as Virgo sometimes, and that purity energy. So we have the higher self and the Hanging Man here around this group energy or conflict energy, challenged by the Six of Cups innocence of affection. And then the block coming up here being the indigo energy, which also came up in your message beforehand over here. So there's this indigo magician energy here of a little boy, which also came up in your message, presenting a polished diamond there. Right? A child, this is a block. Your blocks have to do with children here. There's beautiful affectionate energy of children over here, and beautiful manifestation energy over here of a warrior spirit. And you have a challenge with this and a block with this, right? It bothers you that a child could manifest something so powerful, and maybe you've always been challenged by affection here of sweet innocence. And why is that for you? And what's coming up here as the result of your read is the Chariot. So there's a bold move here to ascend. There's what's the Hindu meditation I just had come up? Is it Jara or Javra? I can't remember the word. But there's a bold move here. This can represent any kind of movement, whether it's travel, a move, ascending fast here. I want to find, hold on, oh, I can't look it up on my phone. The one who does the mantras, look her up on Instagram, is Tina Ting, T-I-N-H, and Tina is spelled with 2 N's. She does a lot of mantras. They're beautiful, beautiful energies. For whatever reason, she's coming up here. So I'm going to pull a few extra cards here for the end, just in case I need them. And let's look at the bottom of the deck here. And we have the 7 of Swords. And in this deck, you know, usually a 7 of Swords is that liar, cheater, thief card, or it's just a card of risk. And here it's about passing messages. So there's those 5D messages being passed up from the Knight of Swords over here and being passed down here. And it looks like it'll be coming from here, the group here, or the waves of flames. Let's see what's underneath that 7 of Swords. And there's 2 men watching down here. So whatever messages are being passed here are being observed by people on the ground. We have the Emperor here, the 2 of Cups, Divine Justice, and then the 4 of Cups. This energy, again, of connecting with Sirius right now. And feeling like you're an island to yourself amidst all these rough seas. And it's like she's spotting the star like a gymnast would do on the beam so she doesn't fall off. You know, aligning herself with the stars here. And this 4 of Cups is about boredom and apathy, but it's also about time to ground and integrate the lessons that you've learned, right? To keep to yourself perhaps and take it all in. So boredom has a purpose, you know, time to rest, to take in, ground and integrate, to master what you've learned, to learn how to receive love as well. And then we have blind justice here, divine justice with the scales, you know, learning to feel your way, not use your eyes or your intellect, but to feel the weight of the balance here of the 2 of Cups, the one-to-one connections. And then we have the Emperor here tossing his device over here, or his false hand. And so why is he coming up like this? This can represent a father, a grandfather, your own need to control here. This can represent Santa Claus. It can represent God. And why is he tossing his AI over here? And this energy is being tossed in the pit as well. It just made me think of the dinosaurs. So in the TV show The Dinosaurs, one of the episodes was about the mother-in-law. When they turned a certain age, like 75, the son-in-law got to throw his mother-in-law in the pit. So I don't know why that's coming up for you, but it is. And they both look like they're watching. They're like enjoying the moment together. It's kind of like a barbecue. And then these 2 are enjoying tossing stuff in a pit. So I don't know if there's a bonfire, or you're taking a bunch of trash and burning it, or throwing it in some kind of permanent disposal. Perhaps old ideas, or I feel like, well, they're not paying attention because they're in their fields. He's getting rid of stuff while they're not paying attention. That's what I feel like. This could be confidential files as well, or intellectual property, messages coming in from the group. And again, it looks like someone's getting rid of some stuff or burning the evidence. And we do have justice here too. And does this have to do with a business partnership or a romantic partnership? It could be either one here. And I'm getting risky business. All right, actually, let me put these out. Here's that arc again. I'm getting the energy of standing right in the archway here. And we also have the Batman in the Batcave right here, right? Leaving, is he walking through the desert or is he walking to the beach? And definitely looks like Batman here, as we talked about the masculine in the Batcave right there. Is somebody going to the beach, or 40 days and 40 nights, having left behind something perfectly in a row, all those 8 cups perfectly aligned so that nobody can complain before they leave and walk away to find what's missing in their life. Okay, so somebody again is looking at this star and feeling their way through to balance this one-to-one energies with the Emperor energy here and control. Remember, the Emperor represents the one who's responsible for everything, but also who holds the power. And again, taking a risk, right? And there's people watching. This energy being passed on, whether it's information or intellectual property. I'm getting like pass through or passing right through, right? From the collective down to the ground to get out of the rain, bump, bump, bump. The ants are marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. And that was coming up, remember in the other cards too, there was 2 by 2s coming up. Hurrah, hurrah. We have Pisces, perhaps Aquarius. Again, Pisces or Capricorn for me. And then, of course, this is Gemini energy, but Virgo can come up with the Magician Indigo card as well. And then we have Cancer or even Sagittarius there with the Chariot. Right, we have the High Priestess over here and the Shaman, so healing energies here. Perhaps you have a lot of healers around you that could help you out. All right, this Seven of Swords is the underlying energy for Gemini. Why is that here? The Four of Cups. That's weird. I'm hearing some kind of animal was just, I don't know whether it was a dog or a bird barking. And then I was just seeing a delivery truck just pulled up and backed its butt up just so I can see the butt of the truck. And this is starting over again, no longer bored, but scrapping something and starting over again, which can represent what this means too. So getting rid of emotions without going all the way through. And now the delivery guy just ran up the hill to deliver a package. So starting over here, getting back to work, perhaps a new workout routine, or the energy of Atlas. A lot of hard work. right? Ready to go into a new cycle and put in the work here. Perhaps carrying a lot of weight, so maybe a new way of eating or working out that will help you lose weight. But here, taking a risk, like again, a pass-through line item. I don't know what that means for you. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear the noise or not, but we just got a delivery. Okay, so starting fresh with a lot of work ahead of you. And again, it could be on your physical body. And the Four of Pentacles in the recent past there. And maybe you've been sitting in the cave or just staying inside a lot and needing to ground more, needing to work out again. And here's the Knight of Cups coming up. So it could be this could just be being moody, feeling rejected, or there's some jealousy that could be coming up, or just not feeling like being loving to others, you know, just kind of wanting to stay in your cave. And then there's the Magician. There's a kind of a contradicting energy here, right? Because this is having all your tools to manifest here, to make magic, but not feeling like giving the love, just wanting to manifest without being the love, right? Not feeling it. Or do you feel like a child is holding you back? Is there a child who's being moody or feeling rejected while you're trying to make your magic? Wanting to be in a cave by yourself, perhaps where distractions don't come in. The foundation here is the higher self. And the Five of Swords. So here's the energy of the need to face your fears, to face someone who doesn't care how you feel, to be the one on guard. This could be someone protecting their own back, right? Someone leading the way or bringing the good news, but how do you do that while watching your back at the same time? Being of two minds. Just going into your higher self here. Being in the public eye and needing to watch your back. Again, taking a risk to be seen. And again, there's this energy of needing protection, and then you had the Wall coming up. And after this Six of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles reversed, which, you know, somebody could trip up and fall, or perhaps no longer doing the daily grind, doing things in a different way, or breaking patterns here. No longer juggling, no longer performing, or worried about embarrassing yourself, right? When bringing in the good news or when leading the way. Again, feeling like you're trying to bring in your good news while having your back at the same time, which is going to mess you up or trip you up because you're not in your higher self. You're falling into a lower energy here. So this central energy of the Five of Wands is the Empress and the Page of Swords This could be a mother and child energy, or a woman in a position of prominence receiving messages here. She could be pregnant. She could have another child here. Perhaps a child is stepping up to the plate to help her here. But there's some conflicts here. This could be a woman who's getting really hot all the time. Perhaps she's going through hot flashes, or perhaps she's pregnant and she's really hot all the time. And I'm getting the energy of someone fanning her, like a child. Or again, these could be her fans messaging her. And we have the Queen of Pentacles here too, with the King of Wands reversed. And again, this could be a group of people but it's like everybody has their own separate agendas, right? Someone's in the back cave over here. This one's in their higher self. This one's giving affection to friends, or perhaps a sibling or a pet. And these two may not be getting along here. We have the King of Wands reversed over here. So why are you in the energy of the King of Wands reversed? And that could be someone who's just tired, or sick and tired, aggravated. Or is he physically abusive? It doesn't feel like that. I mean, the next three cards are very positive. He just could be tired of giving his time, money, and energy to this very abundant family, business, or community of justice. This could represent having to pay for court here. Why is the Six of Cups? Maybe you're going to family court here. This could be family counseling as well. We have the Six of Cups. And Judgment, right? So some kind of final judgment. So this could be court, or some kind of court order, or a wake-up call here, or calls at work that need to be answered. But everything looks in order here. Are the kids calling you at work? Is that a distraction for you? Maybe some heated exchange here, or causing delays or blocks with the Queen of Cups here. Not being able to get through to the kids too, with the Queen of Cups and then children over here. Or again, not wanting to be disturbed while they're working here. So again, it doesn't feel like we have the workplace represented here, but I don't feel like you're at the workplace. It feels like family and their different functions, you know, and trying to work out space and time for everyone to do what they need to do. Perhaps kids not calling you when they're supposed to. Or just petty arguing, you know, how kids can be. Just talking back for no reason at all, just which may be frustrating the Queen of Cups, but she's upright. But there's no, messages are being blocked between her and this workplace or school. Maybe there was an announcement at work or school that she wasn't privy to, the kids never told her. The Hanging Man is the Page of Wands and the Wounded Warrior here. So there's somebody here excited about something, but this one's not. There's two different, very different perspectives here. hanging out together. Right? One's very excited and perhaps very passionate about something, right? The Page of Wands isn't a patient fire energy, right? It's a child who may be impetuous and wants to jump right in when they get inspired. And that could be getting on the nerves of the wounded warrior over here who's exhausted, which could represent the King of Wands reversed. And they're getting on their last nerve, hanging out with them. I mean, he could have an injury here too. And could be a child or a pet constantly wanting something from them or their attention when they don't feel like it because they're tired. And here we are hanging out again, hanging out with that right knee block. Suffering in silence, not sleeping well, stressed out, and just needing to be still and rest. And here's a child or a pet constantly needing your attention or interrupting you. And then here we have the Queen of Swords reversed. And this could be, if she's released here, this is someone who's, could be verbally abusive here because that's her release. It sets her free. But it's abusive to somebody else here. This could be someone nagging the King of Wands too. So the Queen of Swords could be nagging him and he's got this childlike energy over here and he's exhausted. The Queen of Swords here could be releasing someone else as well if she's giving them a massage or acupuncture or some kind of treatment over here. And again, she could be working from home. The Queen of Swords here. We have the Ace of Wands reversed and the Nine of Cups reversed. So she's feeling frustrated, no humor here. Maybe she's frustrated. I mean, this can represent not being able to get pregnant as well and dissatisfaction over here, but she's not a happy camper here. She could be frustrated with the King of Wands reversed. They're both reversed here. She may be uncomfortable in her emotions around him. She could be grieving. I mean, they could both be grieving. But it looks like they're fighting in some kind of conflict. And is this a divorce? Is it family conflict? Is there conflicts with the children from school or someone not behaving properly? You see yourself as the King of Wands or the Master of Flames. Gemini. Gemini. We have the Ace of Swords and the Three of Cups. So the truth is coming in here, whether you like it or not. Or this is a big message coming in. You know, this could be someone's head served to them on a silver platter about not coming together or about being a bad influence here. Being antisocial, right? So if the King of Wands is staying in his cave, not helping out, and then standing up for themselves, right? We have the Five of Wands in the middle here, which can represent the group here, right? Defending their territory, of wanting to be by themselves. So again, that's a typical energy too of, you know, it can be either way, the wife or the husband, but usually, you know, the husband goes to the cave when they don't want to deal with the kids. And then the mom ends up having to deal with the kids. But this could also be someone who's working very hard and is exhausted and needs some time alone at home. And there's, you know, they're standing up to their dependents or those who may be powerless to them. This could also be someone spending a lot of money here, right? Retail therapy here to free themselves because they're feeling emotionally ignored. But there could be a separation going on here. So why is the Knight of Swords here around you? Or others might see you as the Knight of Swords. There's an unhappy family or an emotional cycle that's ending here. Perhaps there's a lot of options though, a lot of choices to make, but there's some unknowns that still need to be figured out. Perhaps seeing synchronicities, or somebody's excited that this cycle is ending because they just see all the good stuff that will come up for them. This could be someone sending 5D messages, right? So they could be seeing synchronicities. Perhaps the family doesn't understand them. And we have the block of the indigo here. And there's childlike energies here. The Page of Cups reversed and the Knight of Wands is upright here, right? So the child who feels vulnerable and shy, or a baby crying, or is this a spoiled, entitled child? And then here's the older child who comes in to save the day, to come take care of their sibling or fix things, or expected to just rush in whenever there's a problem with the kids, which this could be an adult as well, or the parent. And again, this indigo is coming up as a child who's being treated like one of the parents, expected to take care of the child here. To come full circle here. Right? This is the one who comes in and saves the day, who makes things whole again, who makes things complete. Or are you dealing with two people coming in to take care of the child? Could be a Sagittarius and a Pisces energy here. Remember, we have the Page of Cups reversed over here, and we have the Knight of Cups reversed over there. And both have the Magician is right here too, okay, which is Gemini. And it has to do with the masculine energy in the bat cave there. Right, while the Magician's doing their thing, you know, this is a baby crying or a child whining. And then this other energy being expected to fix things. Why is the Chariot the final card here for Gemini? Without a choice here, feeling like you don't have any options, but to get over it and be patient while somebody else is traveling or on the road, being present in the moment. Or perhaps someone, you know, again, there could be children at work, or especially if you work at the home. And perhaps if you have a patient with you, right? You just got to get over yourself and be present in the moment, right? You can't be thinking about the other stuff, the distractions that are going on. And there's looks like an injury that's interfering with travel here. And somebody's keeping to themselves. So again, here is the masculine energy in the cave. Being patient and present and keeping to themselves, right? Keeping their cards close to their chest about their travel plans perhaps, or about their money. Maybe somebody's trying to hide what they have or their travel plans. And here is this Ace of Pentacles being given to this 10 of Pentacles, which is a very abundant energy. This can also be counting to 10, 1 to 10, as we have the 4 of Pentacles over here, who could be saving so that they have enough to pay for the family, business, or community, or for a big trip that they're planning here, or a big move that costs a lot of money, so they're saving. Or maybe keeping to themselves their plans so that nobody asks them for anything. So let's see here. So it could be you could be dealing a losing battle with a group of people, whether it's family or otherwise, of everybody wanting to do their own thing. And that could be trying to plan a vacation too, where nobody is on the same page. Just feel like, you know, these two are at each other, but there's kids involved as well. And again, like I said, you know, issues with parents taking responsibility for their children and not putting those responsibilities on their other children. Also could be represented as, you know, maybe there's only one person who's been working in the family, and so they expect the other partner to take all of the other responsibilities, right? So they go home and then they go to the cave and they expect them to do everything else. But here it looks like there could be children being expected to do all the other stuff. And what is the issue with affection and children? Are you having trouble expressing affection with your children? Are they feeling rejected? Do they only get attention when they do something bad? So they do it on purpose to get attention. And where are you going? Is one person moving? Is everybody going together but can't get on the same page? Looks like a lot of arguing. We have the Seven of Pentacles coming up next. And for me in this deck, this is the Divine Feminine's heart. So whereas this is the Masculine's heart in the Batcave, this is the Divine Feminine's heart, like Rapunzel in the E-Tower. And here's the masculine trying to figure out the puzzle on how to get in. Like the key to her heart. How do I get up to the tower to get in there? Perhaps for a gift. Or to be present in the moment. And then we have the World card again. Finding completion, becoming whole. Right? Saving the damsel in distress. Right? Like Rapunzel in the tower. How does he get up to the tower to rescue them? And make their world complete. There could be there's a fiery energy who wants to save the day. There's also very watery energies of perhaps behaving like they want to be rescued, but Gemini has a problem with that. Let's see here. And we have Pisces here. We have Cancer and Pisces, so there's a lot of water child energies here. The Seven of Pentacles there. Detoxing here. Keeping to oneself. So the masculine energy is frustrated over here, trying to figure out how to get into the feminine's heart. But this one's staying in their cave and this one's in the tower. Like it's kind of like a standoff, right? And then here's the Knight of Wands who saves the day. And is the Knight of Wands his alter ego, the King of Wands, reversed? Or is this an older child who's been taking care of the kids and making sure everything's fine? Someone needs help here. Detoxing, keeping to themselves, uninvited, a need for help, or a child who needs help with their homework. Or again, There's no invitation, but do you need an invitation? Is the masculine not getting in because they think they need an invitation to come in when they don't? And again, there's this energy of someone being very proper in that way. The Knight of Swords reversed, and the Lovers here. Someone needing to hold their tongue around Gemini. Or their lover, right? Not being their true self. And here is union, and the King of Swords reversed. Right? There's this beautiful lovers and home union card or big celebration, but these two are both at each other's throats. Two air signs here. And are they holding their tongue? Like, are they holding their tongues and pretending like everything's fine when it's absolutely not, if we have two air signs reversed here? It's like a child in need of help with their homework, but two people who don't have the patience to deal with them, which can be a very Gemini thing. We have the Hierophant and the Emperor here finding peace together, or maybe they're finding peace when these guys are away. Right? So when someone can get away from the Queen of Wands, someone's sneaking away, when she's dealing with this one who may be lazy or not feeling like doing anything, and again, that could be a Taurus energy, or someone who doesn't want to work. So someone's ditching them so they don't have to work. What is going on here? And then we have this King of Cups here, who could be a Cancer energy here, who's depressed, but he's loving and he's solid here. And is this arrogance or need to heal? But he's providing all the love here. We do have the Chariot is up right here. Let's see if that Seven of Pentacles comes out. So we're assessing the worth once we get here. Hanging out, traveling together, or moving together, moving in together, and then getting here and assessing the worth of it all. And that can represent a gift here as well. The gift of completion, of coming full circle, of getting to the end of an era. Gemini. We have the star. You know, we have the 17 as the star up here in your header, all about love, but the star card is reversed here. Are you depressed because there's lots of drama going on? Was there some kind of sudden event that left you out in the cold? left others out in the cold, feeling like you're going crazy, or having to deal with a parent with Alzheimer's and trying to be strong and being strong for the kids. Or perhaps dealing with a parent with dementia or Alzheimer's, but also a pet, and also children need to be taken care of, especially at night, and having to assess inventory or the worth in going back to work. And you could be trying to assess, is it worth it if you have another child? Is it worth a second person going back to work? Or is the babysitter amount going to outweigh the benefit of that? Someone's tired of doing all the balancing here. A third party needing to be in their integrity. Right? This could be a secret passion. We have Scorpio reversed and Pisces reversed and Cancer. So we got all of the water signs here. And it looks like the children are very watery, but the parents may be very different than that. So this is destined to deal with the King of Pentacles here and kids out of control. Not seeing eye to eye here. Not sharing or feeling the inequity here of the partnership and the need to rise above or awaken to this and come out about it. So let's see what messages of love have for you guys. So the wounded warrior here definitely feels like kind of a sacrificial lamb here. And is there a problem with one parent not taking responsibility for anything? Is someone going to work 24 hours a day and then coming home and having to be the full-time parent as well? In a losing battle, or is there some kind of divorce going on here? Or nobody can ever agree on travel plans. But here is this big, huge need to bring like two power people onto the same page. You can be completely open with this person. This rejection is actually divine protection. Some distance will help bring clarity. And does the situation align with your values and morals? And a lack of integrity did come up here at the end. This is a divine counterpart connection. Twin flame comes up. And old wounds and childhood issues need revisiting here. But you have learned the spiritual lesson. The bottom of the deck is warning, don't dismiss the red flags here. And there's addiction here. There's addiction affecting this relationship. Don't dismiss the red flags. You already know the answer that you seek. So then, again, don't pretend things are working when they're not. Don't hold your tongue when you need to speak your truth. There's a bold move that will happen here. You know, all three of these people are reversed. And all of these three people have to travel to this person or location here in order to bring things full circle. Needing to be present here or bring a gift to make things better again, to make amends. Any which way, the underlying energy is not to dismiss the red flags. Like, don't make everything rosy when it's not. Again, someone's not being completely honest. But you can be honest. And you need to be. Even if you're rejected by that person, obviously right now you need time apart to not be taken for granted, or for somebody to find their integrity if someone's situation's not being a good person, basically. Not being fair. But there are spiritual lessons that need revisiting here from childhood. So is this rejection in childhood? Are you revisiting your childhood? Are these your kids, or is this your own childhood where there are issues of rejection that still need to be healed? And again, this has to do with some kind of proposal, a partnership, or a marriage, and all the issues, right? It's very connected. So how to break that link apart? Is it possible? Or is this a link connection here because it is a twin? And so you need to let some other stuff go if you're in another relationship, because this link is not going away. And is this where you're heading towards? But you have all of this stuff that you need to be honest with in order to let it go. That's very interesting, very complicated. So I want to pull one more card. Let's see what comes up from the journey of love. And remember, I saw a wall. You need to take the walls down. Gemini, for the best and highest good of all is concerned. Gemini. The Christ flame. 31 is this 5 of Wands, which is reversed in that read. And this has to do with sacrifice and the trauma, right? The negative energies of the crucifixion and the need to heal martyrdom. The bottom of the deck here is the burning hero. So there is a Christ wound here that you're dealing with. We have the 3 of the Empress and the burning hero. And the 23 is the King of Wands across the water, right? She's in the wall there in the vortex, waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel there, waiting to be saved. So it's that savior complex here. Needing to be saved or wanting to be the savior. And then we have the 28 of the 2 of Wands and the sacred conversions here. This is that energy of like the revving the engine, burning all the residual crap off before going into the next. Right? The losing battle of martyrdom, of sacrifice. And how do you get from here to here? Because the 28, the 2 of Wands was reversed in your read. And this is coming up as a losing battle, right? The energy it takes of sacrifice and feeling like you have no options. But you do have an option, which is this. Because this is the way this is coming up in your read. You're saying this isn't an option. Well, why is it not? You do have an option. But then in the old way of thinking, that option may make you look like the bad guy. Right? Maybe you've sacrificed too much to look like the bad guy. But the whole point is if you don't let this go, you will never have your happiness. Because you're insisting on looking like the good guy from the old way of doing things, which is sacrifice and martyrdom. And that's the wound that you need to work on. Okay, it has to do with the perpetrator and the savior, which is the polarity. And then the victim is in the middle. It takes the victim to do the shift, because when the victim shifts, it pulls both polarities in and collapses them. You need to be okay with both sides. You need to be okay with the savior and let it go, and you need to be okay with the perpetrator and let it go. because you're taking responsibility for everything, all the energies you put out in your life, and then that collapses it all to the middle and allows you that authenticity to be the real you, and then find your happiness. I hope that was helpful. It is very complicated, but in the meantime, until next time, remember your water, your rest, your joy, your nature, taking care of your physical body. Remember, stretching is really important too. And rise and be love. I'll see you next time. Bye, Gemini.